so next one class is the scalar multiplication. Okay, so we are done with addition, we are done with subtraction of vectors. Now, multiplication. So you might think that vectors can only be added, no, or subtracted from another, but also vectors can be multiplied. Okay? As a matter of fact, class, there are many quantities in physics that are defined in terms of vector multiplication. So here, class, in vector multiplication, we have three types. Okay? The first one is the product of vector quantity and scalar, which is this one. So when we say scalar, it's just a value, it's just a number. So if you are given vector A, no, you can multiply it with any scalar. So it could be 5, it could be 1, it could be 2. So multiplying a vector to a number is a scalar multiplication. So that's one type of vector multiplication. Another one is when you multiply two vector quantities. Okay? When multiplying two vector quantities, there are two types, the dot product and the vector product or the cross product, which we will be discussed also in this section. So yung dot product class, the result of it, although product siya ng dalawang vector, but the result is scalar. Tapos yung cross product naman, product din siya ng dalawang vector, pero the result is another vector. Okay? So, again, those are the three types of vector multiplication na i-discuss natin. So, for the first type, we have the scalar multiplication. Like I've mentioned, this scalar multiplication is when you are given one vector, let's say vector A, and then you multiply it to any scalar quantity. Again, scalar quantity refers to any number. It could be positive, it could be negative. Okay? So let's say, for example, vector A, you multiply it with a positive scalar. Let's say, okay, let's write some examples, huh? This one. Let's say vector A is 5 meters north. Okay? So let's say you are asked to solve 5A. What will be the answer? Okay? The answer will simply be like this. You simply get the magnitude of M and multiply it to the product of your vector. Your M here, class, that is your scalar quantity, okay? And your vector A, so you only get the magnitude. So in this case, the magnitude of A is what? 5 meters, okay? So you simply, to get this 5A, so simply 5 times 5. Ganun lang. So just copy the direction as well. So since positive to ha, positive. So this will be 25 meters north. Again, this will happen if you multiply a vector with positive scalar. But if you multiply vector with a negative scalar, so let's say negative M, let's say negative 3. Ganyan. So what will happen? So it will simply be like this, negative 3 times 5 meters, diba? And that is negative 15. Okay, negative 15 meters. So since the direction is north, so what will happen? So it will simply be directed opposite the original. So if it is north, then the opposite one will become south. So you have to rewrite this one as 15 meters and it will become south. Okay, so you don't have to write the negative already. Kasi class, the negative only indicates opposite direction. Okay, opposite of what originally your vector is located. Okay, so the answer here for negative 3A is this one. Dapat. Tapos ito naman, ito siya. Nakuha niyo, class? Ganun lang sa scalar multiplication. So, for our example, by the way, example 21 pa lang tayo, so mali yata yung Okay. So, supposedly, example 22 ito. I'm sorry. So, nagkamali tayo ng numbering sa example. Okay. For example 21, we have an unbalanced force acting on a body of mass m will impart to it an acceleration a. Take note. According to the equation F equals ma. So, this is our working formula, class. The question is, what force is needed to give a 15 kilogram mass an acceleration of 2.4 meter per square second directed to the east? Okay, if we analyze, class, the formula of force, which is according here, mass times acceleration. Okay, let us analyze. What is force? Is it a vector or a scalar? It is a vector. Tama? Vector siya. How about the mass? Is it a vector or scalar? It is scalar. Bakit nga? Kasi di ba yung mass, class, wala naman siyang direction. Oo, magnitude lang talaga siya. So, scalar lang. While the acceleration, it's another vector. So, kung mag-observe natin, class, mass and acceleration here is a product. Okay? And they are product. So, what kind of product? They are scalar multiplication. Tama? Where this vector acceleration, you multiply it to a scalar or a magnitude. Okay? So, we will be expecting na vector multiplication or scalar multiplication ito. So, ganyan lang, class. I-follow lang natin yung format, no? I-follow natin yung formula. So, dito, pinapahanap value ng force kung yung mass mo is 15 kg. So, following the formula, so 15 kilograms. So, ano lang siya, ha? Scalar lang. And then, yung ano mo naman, acceleration, 2.4 meter per square second directed to the east. Etong east mo, yan yung direction mo. Okay? So, multiply lang natin dito is 2.4 meters per square seconds. So, if you multiply that, 15 times 2.4, that is how much? Times 2.4, that is 36. 36. What will be the unit? By the way, kilogram meter per square second. Now, since force is a vector, kailangan pa natin ng direction. Diba? So, since wala namang direction si mass, and yung acceleration natin, yung direction niya is east, so therefore, ifa-follow din ng force yung direction niya. So, kung east si acceleration, doon din yung direction ni force. So, 36 kilogram meter per square second, or simply, this quantity here, class, is Newton. Ha? Oo, Newton itong unit na to. This is equivalent to Newton. So, this will be 36 Newton to east. Ayan. That's the answer already. Bakit, ma? Bakit east pa rin? Kasi, remember that our scalar here, which is mass, is positive. Diba? Sabi natin, when we do the scalar multiplication, pag positive scalar quantity, yung i-multiply mo sa vector mo, then, it will have the same direction. Pero, pag negative scalar, it will have opposite. So, kung in this case, no, yung mass mo is negative, then, magiging west itong direction mo. Pero since positive yung mass, then, whatever the direction of your vector, okay, here, na multiply mo, ganun din yung result. Nakuha niyo, class? That is the answer for example 21. Simple as that. Kindly screenshot this solution and rewrite that, ha, in your module if you have.